They say looks can be deceiving. At first glance, I thought you were not much to look at. All icing, no cake, all steam, not much brew. But the night air sings of fulfilling ancient dreams. The moon whispers of tenderness for the smallest of them, for the unheard, the unseen. And as the sun breaks through our heroes' memories, your blinding smile hits my heart, like the warrior's blade, like 𝗕𝗵𝗄𝗣 spear. But the far seas beckon you. The memories on these walls try to soothe the pain of parting. I seek for your warmth, but only these sheets comfort me. My tears are salt water flowing to bridge the seas and islands that divide us. The stars listen to my sighs as I look for you in the skies. And now you're here. Our love blazes like the fire of our heroes' revolution. Our hearts entwined is such sweet victory, incomparable, like the journey of our people, like the richness of our culture.
Hello, hello. Oh, the mic's not working. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sam Mendez II,
And this is Rich Martel.
and we are your hosts for today. Welcome to Balak, Pangtapak, Love Letters in the Post-Apocalypse.
It is amazing to see every poet here in this room. But before anything, we would like to thank Palmgrass, the Cebu Heritage Hotel, for sponsoring us this event and this venue. Isn't it amazing, Sam, to see all these future novelists, these future writers, lovers of literature, to be all in one sitting?
Absolutely, who knows? Basta na ay national artist here in the future, you know?
Hopefully.
The new Rizal is somewhere here. Special shout out also to those watching us right now at Facebook Live. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
How have you been, Richie?
I've been amazing, dude. I've been so excited to be in this event.
Yeah, it's a really hot day, isn't it? You know, this is my fourth shower today.
Fourth?
Absolutely, yes, it's so hot, man. So I'm really glad for one to be here at beautiful Palmgrass Heritage Hotel. So at least I have AC, you know, but like, yeah. We're here today to celebrate literature for one. To hear spoken word from our fellow literature students here in USC.
And we're here to also celebrate the importance of not just poetry, but empathy that comes along with it, especially because we've just experienced many typhoons, what, two, and then an earthquake.
Yeah. Yeah, I for one I'm very lucky that I wasn't that affected by the calamities, but of course, there are those who aren't as lucky as we are, and even some of our friends here have had quite a rough time these past few weeks. And so, as literature majors, if poets aren't romantic, then romance is dead. So through hard
Yes,
times, we
absolutely
must
true.
find at least some hope, because that romance, all this stuff, poetry is what makes us human.
And
doesn't
this
it?
is what this event is all about. It's to
Mm.
emphasize not just the romantic side of poetry, but the empathy and the just the connectiveness of poetry that can be passed along other people.
That's
And
right. That's right. That's right. All right. So, without further ado, before we begin, rather, may we call upon the stage here, one of the fellow romantic poets we have today, the one, the only Palabra President, 𝗟𝗏 𝗣𝗁𝗂. Round of applause, everyone, for Megan.
round of applause.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much to Palmgrass, the Cebu Heritage Hotel, and to Ma'am Agripina Gavilondo for letting Palabra host this event today. And we have genuine hopes that this event finds its audience, that we can disentangle all the numerous and jumbled thoughts and feelings that we have of the recent events that have befallen our city. We might usually take it for granted, but it's important to exercise reflection, to speak about what our creative writing teachers say, the unsayable. But it is very difficult finding the words for difficult events, especially when it comes to natural disasters, and especially because we are regularly affected by these disasters. So we could easily become numb and desensitized to our own experiences. Also, because for us Filipinos, the struggle for survival is more urgent. Our focus and energy is pulled by more practical and concrete and real problems. And we may have a lot of feelings just lying dormant on these tragic events of our lives. When we are able to articulate these feelings, we slowly sift through all the grief, the trauma, the loss. We cut a bit of our burdens little by little, and we let ourselves feel the lighter things like love. So by then, we can be there for each other more fully. We thank everyone who will be listening to us share our own pieces. Pulong sa mga alagad sa obra or palabra of USC is happy to present Balak Pangtapak Love Letters in the Post-Apocalypse. Thank you so much.
Once again, Palabra President 𝗟𝗏 𝗣𝗁𝗂, a round of applause. You know, she echoed a lot of really wise things just now, right? You know, yeah, like she said, we have to find some solace in our hard times. Isn't that right, Rich?
That is very true.
All right. So, why don't we just go ahead and start with our program? Yes. So, from the first years, mga freshies pa.
My
last
fellow
year,
freshies.
like you're a freshman actually.
I'm a freshman, so I'm quite excited
Exactly.
and I'm rooting for them.
Earlier this year, he was a high schooler, guys. So let's give it a round of applause to the first years of Palabra, the literature students of USC.
Let's make some noise for the first years.
Various spoken word performances. So can we have the first one here? All right. Once again, a round of applause to the first years of LCS.
So I will be presenting an original poem that I have composed when I was tasked to do this presentation. For a little background, I would like to say that I firsthand experience and witness the aftermath of Typhoon Tino, specifically in 𝗏𝗏 because my friends and I had the initiative to volunteer and go there mismo sa place to help and give whatever they need from the funds that we have gathered from also our fellow Carolinians, from the help of our friends and our family connections. So this poem is entitled Salamat. Calamities. They are natural events, unpredictable at that. A powerful force simple mortals like us can fight back too easily. It is nature in rage, alive in its simple form, moving, cracking, whistling, blowing, begging for us to foster its fragility. Just like how it gives food, filling our plates on our table, it makes water flow down our streams. How our earthly roots, like planted crops, needs the sun, simplest form of humanity alive. I remember volunteering, not fully grasping what I got myself into. Naive, I wasn't prepared of the heartache that sent shivers my whole body. I'd experienced from the window seat of our travel. I saw with my own eyes trees who used to stand tall. A simple mango tree that used to stand tall, sentinel of the land. It used to shed people, now lies on the ground with its leaves scattered. Along the road, I saw children who plead with their whole body, asking for mercy, seeking compassion, asking for anything to fill their stomachs. I saw mothers begging for milk to feed their babies. I witnessed fathers holding on to their last strength, feeling helpless of their humble homes, left to pieces. Their eyes displayed the gloom and blues the typhoon brought them, not knowing where and how to start again. I saw their sorrows, and I opened my heart. I welcomed their hopeful, smiling faces. We gave them the material basics of life. In return, the priceless warmth of hope for a new tomorrow. I felt their resilient spirits, their brave hearts, their will to continue. I remember one kid holding tight the hands of his obvious exhausted mother, piled up perhaps from their devastating loss, the amount of worry for their loved ones. His only support, his only symbol of hope. Countless acts of gratitude after many salamats, I thank them too, because I practice compassion. I practice kindness. So, salamat. That is all. Thank you.
Right, that is an amazing poem. Let's give it up for our next performer.
So, good afternoon. My name is Alessandra Joyce Rivas. Oh, yeah. My name is Alessandra Joyce Rivas, and I will be presenting an original poem. It's entitled More Than a Bag. So I wrote this poem based on the events of like Typhoon Tino. And when I was like watching through the interviews of victims and how they recalled the horrors and their grief, their overbearing grief, it kind of like inspired me to write this poem. So here goes. More than a bag. Darting in through the waves of the crowd, he finds a space in this noisy place. In his hand, he holds this bag, light with supplies, heavy with everything he doesn't say. After the storm, he sat there all alone. First, he pulled the ring and opened the lid of the green can. Peeking inside, he saw the pieces squeezed together, floating in deep red waters. He poured them out, feeding his hunger. His stomach eased, yet his body aches. His heart whirs, his bones rattle. It remembers. It remembers the ceaseless downpour of that hour when the sun refused to rise, the water rushing in, dousing the fire in the hearth, rising fast, stretching its cold hand as they climbed higher and higher, as if humming a lullaby to drag them to the seafloor. But it was no lullaby. It was the vicious will of a monster, a creature of currents and roar, dragging roofs from houses like peeling memories from the living. Up on the roofs, only he stayed, watching the world churn beneath them. It lasted much longer, but this was all he could carry. For even a memory has limits when it has swallowed the sea. Now he was thirsty. Pulling out this bottled mineral water, he drank. He drank endlessly down to the last drop. Finally, he was quenched, yet he longed for more, as though the storm had carved him hollow and every sip only echoed his emptiness instead of filling it. Now, the warm porridge settled in his stomach, softened his heart, if only for a moment, like a hand pressed gently on a trembling shoulder. He chewed, swallowed each spoonful of food. He looked over his relief pack. Inside were biscuits, canned tuna, and a little more time. Not much, but enough for tomorrow's survival. He stood up and lifted the bag. And now this is what he carries. His broken soul, this river of grief that never stops overflowing, the quiet hopes rubbed gently into every item curated by kindred souls, the weight of memory, the weight of mercy. And in his hand, he carries all of these, held together in this small bag of relief. That is all. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is 𝗟𝗲𝗟𝗂, and I am from Eastern Samar. I mentioned that I'm from Eastern Samar because my poem is situated in my province. And when I was thinking of writing this poem, I was thinking of two things. It is my province and the person I love. So basically, this poem explores queer love, and it poses a question: how will I be able to love these waters again if it's the very thing that killed my, loved one? So the title is If I See You Dead Today on the Highways of Eastern Samar by 𝗟𝗲𝗟𝗄. Dear Poblano, many Novembers have passed and still I haven't seen you since the storm. One November night, resting at each other's back, I tried to glimpse you. Instead, your gaze met mine from where I was trying to look. You were dissecting a carcass of a heron refused to wade, to catch us fish, to fish us money, to feed us tomorrow. In Samar, the waters are our friend. Fisherfolk, their second skin. Children part them, and elders believe in water spirits. Till Our Lady of Nativity came. In this piece of archipelago, we grew up believing that it could read our hearts. Maybe that's why you kept returning to it. Maybe that's why it kept taking you. So off you sail by your bay boat, although I warned you to not set off. Somewhere 8 Novembers ago, we bathed at the back of our school, trusting the creek to wash the shape of our bodies, the outline of mine and yours, each to its own. The current carried me to your nakedness, and you caught me from drifting into the city's bay. Instead of outlines, it was our skin in the tender of each otherness. I reached for your lips, but you pushed me back, ankles suspended in the air. As water broke into quiet threads of light, I heard you titter before the riverbed. This was Eden before our great-grandparents were caught, too brief for us, the same way we could be discovered. Two bodies in the creek, mid-breath, mid-light, committing original sin. Our love omnipotent, it angered the sun. Perhaps why summer faces the Pacific, why every November storms arrive like reprimands, undoing what we've done. By the time a course of an oarfish began its catechism, the morning still as an oiled pastel painting, how the murder of crow fled the orange-plumed sky, or when the moon in its splendid halo appeared, I know the surge will visit. I know it will split us open. So, in summer, when the water rages, we call unto Our Lady. At one sighting, she faced the Pacific ward and an unshakable umbrella protecting her pueblo rather than a rosary. Later, it was found that she was the Becky in our hometown, posing as her for reasons she only knows. Dear Poblano, somewhere 8 Novembers ago, we drowned at the back of our school, trusting the rummaging to decide the shapes of our bodies, the outline of mine and yours, each losing to its own. The current carried me to your nakedness, and you caught me from the rummaging bay. Instead of outlines, was our skin in the ending of each otherness. I reached for you, but you pulled away, ankles suspended in the surge. As water broke into quiet threads of light, I heard you gulp before the riverbed. This was the great flood when Noah did let us enter into his ark. Our lives too brief for us, the same way we could be discovered. Two bodies drowning in the flood, mid-breath, mid-light, facing the consequences of original sin. Our love tested its omnipotence. It satisfied the Father. Will I be left worried for you or for myself? To live after a storm without a house, I can bear. But to live after a storm without you, my love, I cannot imagine. How can I able to love these waters again when it's the very thing that killed you? If I see you dead today on the highways of Eastern Samar, I would kiss you until the river empties from your stomach, until it feels like 8 Novembers ago again, and we're on the creek. Only this time, it's me who catches you before the bay drags you under, and this November, I get to kiss you. That's all.
Hello. Good afternoon. My name is Zach. I'll be reading my own balak in Cebuano. It's called Human. I'm gonna start. Human sa kalamidad, gugma, giunsa ninyo pag-ingon nga humana. Samtang uban gadoko pa. Giunsa ninyo pagpadayon. Samtang uban galisod pa og bangon. Giunsa ninyo pagsulti nganay gugma paghuman. Samtang gipang kalimtan. Kalimti kay walay gugma diri. Walay pulong para mahunong, walay balak para pangtapak. Kanus-a pamatagam sa katalagman. Human sa kalamidad, walay gugma sa mga kasing-kasing nga buta. That's it. Okay.
Once again, a round of applause to our freshmen. Grabe, Jude, mga first years. You can really tell they're in the right program, right?
Yes.
So no shifting, no shifting, no shifting.
No shifting.
Yes, no
That's
shifting.
right.
All right, but before we move forward to the rest of our performances, let's play a little game, shall we?
Sure, what's the game?
I think this game needs someone first. Can I call on one 𝗟𝗵𝗴 on stage first? A round of applause for
Round of applause,
𝗟𝗵𝗴. All right. Okay, so what we're gonna do today is we're gonna ask questions from the audience, right? Some prompts, and then from those prompts, you'll be creating a poem. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah, you're doing it on the spot as well. correct?
Of course, of course.
Yeah, so by the end of the day, Raven, this beautiful man right here, will have created a poem from all your answers, a little bit of everyone here. Okay, so you can sit down now, Raven. So let's start with our first question. Who can we get from the audience? How about our beautiful miss here? So you heard, diba, miss? We will ask you a question and then you will answer. And later, that answer will contribute to a poem that Sir Raven will write. Sige. And so the question is, what is an image from a moment of calamity that you could never erase from your mind? What is an image from a moment of calamity that you can never erase from your mind?
So it's very tragic when families like babies are on the top of the roof because the flood is going up to the top of the house. So that's a baby with a mother on top of the roof is an image that is very tragic for me.
Thank you for that, miss. That's really heartbreaking, Juno.
That is
It is, and you see it a heartbreakingly common amount of times in this country. So yeah.
So let's move
Thank you,
on
miss.
to the second question, but we'll get an answer from this side. It's very congregated, so I'm hoping a lot of you will participate. Okay. Before I start plucking you like eggs, how about you volunteer and raise your hand? If any of you. Okay. Meeny, miny, you. Okay. So answer this question and you will win a prize. Oh, did I mention we will have prizes for those who will volunteer and answer our questions? Okay, that's the truth. Later. We'll give it to you, promise, later. Okay. So for you, whose voice resounds above all the noise? Let me repeat. For you, whose voice resounds above all the noise? It could be a person, your mom, girlfriend.
Contextually speaking, I think the voice that resounds above all the noise. My coach. My coach. Coach, like, yeah, cheer coach. It's like when everything goes to haywire, I know na I can hear him threatening me 10 push-ups if I don't do it right. So I just like drown out all the voices lang and listen to him. That's it.
Sorry, what's your name?
Arc.
Arc? Let's give it up for our coach.
Thank you for that, Arc. Arc, your coach is the voice that resounds above all. Is that because you love your coach or is that a trauma response to your coach? I see. Well, to recap, it was the image of a mother and a baby on top of a roof. And the other one is the voice of Arc's coach or a coach. And finally, our last question. Who here wants to answer a question, preferably someone who hasn't performed yet? Yeah.
Come on, first years.
Sige. How about you, miss? What's your name?
I'm Nicole.
All right, round of applause for Nicole. Nicole, your question is, how did love show up in your moments of distress?
Well, does it have to be an experience that's the most recent, or can it happen like many years ago? Oh, okay. I'm sorry, what was the question again? Can you interpret it?
How did love show up in your moments of distress?
Oh, well, love showed up in courage and strength. That occurred when my mom particularly went outside our house during Bagyong Odette. If you guys remembered, it was very, it brought harsh winds and stuff like that. And she had to go out of the house to do something so that some things don't dili mapalid and walay maigo. And the moment that she opened the door, harsh and violent winds and rain met us. And in that moment, I knew that whatever happens out there, I would go out and bring her back no matter what happens to me, no matter what disasters that may come my way. And I think, yeah, that's how love appeared during distressing times.
A round of applause for Nicole. Grabe kaayo, man. That's awesome.
That is really
Yeah,
sweet
right.
and
That's really
brave.
sweet. That's really brave. Love shows up in times of distress through courage. So, a recap for our lovely poet, 𝗲𝗵𝗴. Your prompts are a mother and a baby on a rooftop during a calamity, the voice of a coach, and love manifesting itself through courage during calamities. So we'll look forward to that, Sir 𝗲𝗵𝗴, for your poem later on.
So after that, we'll have a special performance from no other than Regina Jude Agbon, who is a first year. Let's give it up for Regina.
A round of applause for Miss Regina Jude, everybody, singing the song Weathering. Again, a round of applause, Miss Regina Jude.
Yeah, I think I.
Hello. My name is Regina, and the song I have for you today is an original called Weathering. This song is a blend of politics, personal feelings, musings, anxiety, and hope. Initially, I wanted it to sound like a happy 60s folk song, kanang murag pang panaygon or something, but I wasn't in the right head to compose something like that because I was kind of sad. So I converted the mood na lang because I really couldn't get through the process of writing it if I was mimicking an emotion. But one thing about the song that didn't change, regardless of the tone, is it still remains a protest song. Again, this is called Weathering. I can't leave the world here, and I can't get out of bed. Fell asleep through a waking thought. I'll send you courtesy for picking up the call. It's urgent when the sky is gonna fall. Storm chaser hadn't chased a thing. They left since yesterday. An amateur can't be the governor, 'cause they're in town a lot. The law of God is a city. Maybe there's no need to worry. When your rosary is with you, you're on your third Holy Mary. You asked what mystery we have today. I say it's Sunday. Perhaps I'll start believing in something, 'cause that's what you always do. wasted. I swore I'm an avid of the march, but the TV shows I have no reason. You threw a shirt and say, walk with me, but it's long since the last I walked. Yet I'll limp to try till the flood dries, when I don't have to limp at all. The law of God is a city. Maybe there's no need to worry. When your rosary is with you, you're on your third Holy Mary. You asked what mystery we have today. I say it's Sunday. Perhaps I'll start believing something, 'cause that's what you always do. They're burning scriptures to make constitutions, to break the sixth commandment. I don't have to pay for a mortgage, but they took the whole house away, knocking the wind out of me, knocking the wind out of you, knocking the wind out of us. The law of God is the city. I wish I didn't have to worry. You have your rosary with you. You're on your third Holy Mary. You asked what mystery we have today. It's Sunday. Perhaps I'll start believing in something, 'cause that's what you always do. That's what you always do. Better believe in something. Thank you.
Once again, a round of applause for Miss Regina Jude.
Thank you so much, Regina.
Grabe, katalit kaayo sa mga literature majors, no? And since we saw the talent and we'll be seeing much more talent later on, how about we switch it up a bit and show another side of literature majors? Because not only are we literature majors talented, we're also very intellectual. Let's test the brains of our beautiful lit students here with some trivia questions about Cebuano literature. Okay? Like Richie said earlier, whoever gets this right will get a prize later on. So let's go around this side of the audience first for this question. Okay. The question: this is a Cebuano word, especially in verse making, which means to rhyme. This is a Cebuano word that, especially in verse making, means to rhyme. Come on, wala na tayo 4 years mo sa LCS, wala mo ka. Come on.
I'll repeat the question. So for this side, it is a Cebuano word, especially in verse making, which means to rhyme.
Hello.
Hold on, let's make it easier. It's a Cebuano word that's meant to rhyme.
Hello. Glory, sige. Can you introduce us? Tell us your name and your answer.
My name is Mel. Pagtugma or tugma something.
Tugma is wrong. Tagalog mo ng tugma. What's your name, good sir?
Mark. Tagalog pagtugma, pagsumpay.
No, that is incorrect. This is in verse making, guys. This is the literary term in verse making.
Sam, should we give them a hint? I feel bad.
Sige, should we give them a hint? Sige. Kanang nagpinoy henyo mo, it's one of the categories. Raise your hands, everyone. You get the prize.
Secret.
Kanang sa Pinoyhan nyo, guys. Tao, hindi hayop. Oh. Kinsa man, raise your hand. Hello mga students, answering in chorus. Come on, raise your hands, guys. Sige, ikaw. What's your name and your answer?
My name is Lambal. My answer is pagbagay-bagay.
Sure, that's close enough.
That's very
Pagbagay-bagay.
close.
It's bagay. But yes, a round of applause for Mr. 𝗟𝗟.
Round of applause. He should have cut it. He should have cut the word and just say bagay.
It's okay. Bagay-bagay. Nag-rhyme man sila. Nagbagay-bagay sila.
Ay, tama.
Diba?
Okay.
Diba? So, Mr. Lam, you will get your coveted prize later on. Oh, he just got it. So,
See, that's
round
true.
of
Yeah, we do
applause
have
once
prizes.
again for Mr. 𝗟𝗟.
So, okay, now after that, we should have our second years performing here up on stage. So can we have the first second year to come up?
A round of applause for
Round
our
of applause.
second year spoken performers.
Thank you. Hello. Okay, maayong hapon kaninyong tanan. My name is 𝗟𝗏 and I will be performing 2 pieces today. So the first one is a poem written by myself. And it's about, I actually just finished this yesterday, but it's basically about, you know how all these recent natural disasters have happened to us, and like a lot has been destroyed. A lot of not just objects, not just the places or the structures, but also the human, us and our fellow living things. But you also have to remember that there will always be some constants. No matter how many things have been destroyed, no matter how many things have been changed, there will always be something, at least just one thing that remains. So that is what I want to express in this poem, which is entitled "The Sun Still Rises." And for the next one, it is a song about longing to reunite after being separated from something out of their control, which is called "Moon and Back." So I will start with my poem, "The Sun Still Rises." I don't think there's still a point in asking if we deserved it. Mama knows her children have wronged her, and she doesn't pick favorites. This time, Mama didn't peel the roof off and leave trees bald, but she wept till daylight, as if she wanted us to feel not her wrath, but her sorrow. The power outage occurred long before it was about electricity. Such a beautiful cruelty, waiting for Mama to stop crying while the sun prepared to smile at you. Isn't it ironic? Shivering from the cold of dread and the aftershocks of a storm, while spending nights without sleep in the torturous heat? But the irony of the irony is the way you still glue your tired eyes to the horizon. Up the sun goes, and the corners of your mouth do the same. I wonder what's wrong with you. How can you possibly smile back at the sun when Mama didn't even spare us a second glance? You seemed to read my mind one day, taking me to an old friend. Us and our banana tree standing together just like we did when we were kids. The irony of the irony is the difference between the sun's sting and its warmth. Being with those whom I'll continue to be with when it rises again tomorrow. The sun still rises.
Hello. 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 Hi, good afternoon.
afternoon, everyone. I'm 𝗕𝗹𝗵𝗃 Today I'll be performing a original poem. So the inspiration of this poem, this is a tribute to my childhood friend. This is my way of saying to her that I am always here for her. So this poem is entitled, When Rainbows Cross the Sea. A neighboring heart that blossomed and grew, we were once doors apart, never been blue. With one shout of my name, she was there running towards me, taking my breath away as she colored my days like those in a rainbow. But then the world was in chaos, and so was she, and so was I. Something in our ground shook that broke us apart into a million pieces. And as the raging storm passed us by, our tears became the rain that never stopped. The wind pulled us back too far, and then we became distance apart. The loss of connection followed. The house we once grew no longer stood, and the memories vanished into thin air. Where did the storm take me? Take her. Take us. She crossed the sea as the storm took her, and I was left ashore waiting for a miracle. I crossed the parade pouring in black and white as I breathed the salty air, hoping for respite. After so long, we became shores apart, hoping a rainbow will soon appear to bind our lives. As she left me astray and went on her way, she thorned my fragile heart, which trailed with flowers blossoming in the path. I still hold the memory of her as I catch my breath, yearning that one day love will find me like death. And I have always thought that at the end of the rainbow, there is a pot of gold. But it was more than that, it was hope. The only treasure worth chasing for. Because I have found her and she found me. And her love is waiting for me to come home. So promise me, when I cross that sea, you'll read me the letters you gave me. You'll paint my world as you painted yours. And you'll take my love forevermore. Thank you.
Right, so good afternoon, everyone. So my piece here came out of my head as an inspiration of one very interesting topic, something that should catch our attention these days: business. So the title of my poem is Commerce Explained with Monkeys. When business was crude, barter was used. When food was cold, fire became more bold. I see you, you see me, I give you something, you give me something. What is that, you may ask? A lot of things, poorly made in all the right strings. We monkeys, good and bad, want to see coins and beans. Now look at what we look at. We have trade, capital, assets, risk, and means. Today, we shall talk about commerce, spoken with the dignity of a monkey with a tie and the confidence of a ripe banana. Observe the monkey, the first economist, the one baby broker. First, he offered 3 scratches and 1 banana in exchange for 1 mango. The exchange rate was terrible, but innovation rarely started perfect. Then, he observes the market. Bananas drive the economy, and greed is the steering wheel. They call this capital liquidity. A fancy monkey once called it, whoever slips first loses everything. One ambitious chimp built the first fiscal machine, and he named it supply chain efficiency, a cool word for rock banging and mango trimming, and immediately charged a banana fee. The monkeys learned quickly that whoever controls the trees controls the means. They called it vertical integration and celebrated with more bananas. When the alpha chimp saw the news, He celebrated the bloom. He said to his tribe, "Let's get started with this monkey business." Thus, he built the first portfolio, with 12 fruits coming from 6 sacred trees. They called it diversification. Though most were stolen, he still drew charts in the dirt, and it showed capital gains and market trends, and all the monkeys hollered and bent. Quickly, he warned of the bear market, then pointed to an actual bear. Everyone agreed to avoid becoming its next bloody smear, and thus learned to always follow the bull market. Then, the alpha chimp asked for capital interest to make money grow slowly, quietly, and relentlessly. The jungle's profits grew, every dream, every sunshine, and every rain, leafy green to dry roots and branches. Thus, the jungle invented commerce. And with that, the monkey village stands through blueberries, pebbles, and fruits. And every tree now hosts its own cafes. When the alpha chimp grew meek and tired, he told his tribe to invest in emerging sectors like coconut future and peanut insurance, but warned to never put all your fruit in one tree, or you will never be free. Then the alpha chimp stood up and gave one last words. May your dreams be fruitful and your losses biodegradable. Thank you.
A round of applause to our second years. Another great batch of performances full of the perseverance, of life and love throughout our hard times.
I did like that last story. That was really
that last
good.
story was really cute. I like that a lot. Cute. All right, moving on. Are you guys ready for another musical performance? Because we have no one else but the fashionable 𝗟𝗲𝗄𝗏
So let's give it up.
singing the next song entitled "You'll Be Safe Here." A round of applause
Round of
for
applause.
𝗟𝗲𝗄𝗏.
Spoilers sa song. Hello everyone. So before I begin, I would just like to share the thought process behind the song. So I think we all know na songs, when we listen to them, they bring us to certain places, certain instances, certain experiences, memory. So when I heard na this is our theme, I had to pick a lot of songs and tried to see if this song really fit the theme. So I had a lot of back and forths. I chose different pieces, and then I ended up with this song because whenever I listen to it, there's some kind of a feeling na it feels like this song is best listened to or even sang when we're in this post-apocalyptic place, I guess, because you can read the lyrics that way if you think about it, and basically that. So if you know the song, please feel free to sing with me. You'll be safe here, River Maya. But it knows just what I want. Could it be fate or random circumstance that the basic the item to words intertwine? And if the universe conspire to move around to make us feel fine, then you will be so too sure.
scream will be safe from the shame of your doubts and fears. Really hard, will be safe Remember how I don't we cry at those stupid things like we were so high. We were so alone. We belong. Though the world will never understand it's so like meaning and why it still stands. Someday we'll be set free from when the light disappears and when this world's sincere, you'll be safe here when nobody hears you scream. I'll scream with you, you'll be safe here. Save your eyes from your tears and everything's unclear. You'll be safe here from the shame of your doubts and fears. Wounded heart, when the light disappears and when this world's insincere, you'll be safe here where nobody hears you scream. I'll scream with you, you'll be safe here in our arms. You belong cold nights deep down. You'll be safe here where no one understands. I'll believe you'll be safe. You'll be safe. You'll be safe here. Put your heart in my hand. You'll be safe here. Thank you.
Wow. Another round of applause to D and Roz, everyone. Grabe, Jude. Na-concert na sila, Drew. Right?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Before we continue on with more delightful and fun times with more performances, we'll take a short amount of your time to promote something that we've made.
You know what, Sam? Hello.
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 All right, what Richie is holding right now is the Maiden Voyage. Give me a second. The Maiden Voyage is a product of our writing club. The very first zine of Palabra's newly formed creative writing club, the Green Pen Society, emerged out of the belief that there is a writer everywhere. Students dreaming from programs totally different from literature have joined us in this literary collection. our hope that everyone eventually follows the GPS and gains the bearings to tell their story. Here we have the maiden voyage from the first year, the first inaugural year of the Green Pen Society, filled with poems, flash fictions, found poems, featuring not only works from literary students but all over USE. Because if you follow the GPS, you'll see that there is a writer everywhere, including from yours truly. So, if you want a copy of The Maiden Voyage, hit up Palabra's social media pages in Facebook, Instagram. It is at Pulong sa Mga Alagad sa Obra or at USC Palabra. Get yourself a copy.
Well, Sam, how about that little book behind you? Yeah, let's show it off to the camera. This one is called What the Wind Brought In. What the Wind Brought In is a collection of 3 creative non-fiction pieces written by members of Palabra, each recalling personal memories of weathering storms. Drawn from life, they look back on gloomy days when rainfall battered cities and delivered devastation, exploring loss and violence. But likewise, some also ponder hope and empathy as they navigate the aftermath, testifying to when light broke through. That's what the wind brought in.
Once again, you can get your copies of The Maiden Voyage and What the Wind Brought In at our social media pages. That's at USC Palabra on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, everyone. So, yeah, please give us money.
Hello, hello. Well, sorry, the mic is breaking. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, okay. Technical difficulties, but we're okay now. So, who's excited for another trivia question? Yeah? Show of hands of who's excited. Yeah, I see like 4 or 5. Okay. So, let's move. Let's go to this side first. Okay. So the first question is, so Osmundo Ceres is a character in Nicholas Raffles' novel Puluhan, who persuaded the Cebuano rebels to lay down their arms and rejoin Filipino society. This was an allusion to a real-life politician who did a similar thing in the early 1900s. Who was this person? Let's repeat the question because I think this is worth 2 prizes. It's okay. The question is, Osmundo Ceres is a character in Nicholas Raffles' novel Pulahan, who persuaded the Cebuano rebels to lay down their arms and rejoin Filipino society. This was an allusion to a real-life politician who did a similar thing in the early 1900s. Who was this person?
Remember, this is Cebuano fun fact, so this Cebuano politician.
Oh, we have a hand. Adrian, who just sang earlier. What's the answer?
Hello, I'm gonna try. Is it Serious Mania?
Oh my God, you got it! Let's give it a hand for Adrian.
Congratulations.
Now, who's excited for another round of performance? Let's give it up for the 3rd years to come up on stage and speak their prose.
A round of applause for the 3rd years.
Hello. My name is Hello, my name is Megan Boyesser, and I am gonna share to you a poem that I wrote, and it's about how after a tragedy we often don't have the words for it, and when a person doesn't have the words, we turn to giving physical comfort, like through touch, but sometimes we don't even have any of that. Because we're not in touch with our emotions and we don't like showing our emotions. So like what happens is that we just let things affect us and then hopefully we move on soon and then we just not once ever address the thing. So here is my poem about that. It's called Holding Air. Everyone walks through the house heavy and light as air. It was, in fact, built on breath, steady stream of prayers, your ready hand guiding mist into lungs. It is heavy and light as air, how we don't really talk about anything, or how we only ever think about giving hugs. We live here on this dot on a city with hills and towers and an open sky ready to burst, yet you keep your palms pointed at it. You look for God in everything, and now I do too. In picking up the telephone and realizing it was 𝗟𝗔𝗃𝗲 voice from the other side. In the resurfacing memory of a bridge in water and a shoreline forever changed. That strange period of getting back into living. And that was him, trembling against the weeping window pane, cushioning the whistle so crisp against the battering of the rain. I know we usually don't do this, but can't you be brave? Throughout everything, our longan tree outside has only bared fruit once or twice. It still stands, still stretches longer and longer shadows over your own widening hope. It's always here, waiting for you to put out your hand. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Kirsty and I'm from Ormoc Leyte and I'm also a third year. I wrote this piece myself just today actually, and I'll start. Unsightly, my mother's swollen breast does not seep. She keeps herself undressed. How hard should you kiss a woman? Sliver up her sides and bury yourselves in past loves. Some supple suckle on the lonely curves, soft circles when she keens into sloppier curls. And with the glint of the sun, shine a seam, the silhouette of the stranger. I hide in the shadow of her slopes, away from the plague of indifference. Medusas, serpents, sirens, beckoning women, consuming venomous women, vile, fickle, slithering women, women I must imagine myself to be underneath me or above me, to be like her when she bends and arches. In the privacy of the little's room, with a stronger dignity befitting ridicule, a sleepiness will coerce the unsatisfied and rouse more lovers' words that will be useless tomorrow. I am a savage in pearls, like sex in the movies. Such poor silliage of passions, we will need to grasp and grapple with each other, like children who boast and play wrestling. I say that with disgust. Veering, black lacquer squeezed from the foot of my good Samaritan. The wilds have become rotten, sludged with the remnants of my lookalikes, the molding shells of previous gnats. What a happy lover I would be if I met her in the city, in the meandering murmurs of even more useless confessions. When parasites are best weaned, I desire eternal life, the savage pleads. My mother's swollen breast does not seep. She keeps herself clean and very much sightly. Thank you.
Hello, it is me, Sam. So I wrote this poem yesterday. I heavily influenced to the point of being a ripoff of Ozymandias, but instead of the past, we're looking into the future to see what our world has become if we keep going on the way we're going on with the calamities and such. It's entitled A Warm Day. I met a vagabond from a later land, whose shattered gaze wore thick a shattered heart as he looked my way. Through crackled lips and speckled voice, he said, "Two bodies lay on a dry earth, whose hands clutching one another, with leaves of skin stuck pressed on their bony fingers, tell us that no marble existed in its place, nor stone capable of its grasp. A leaf half dead fluttered in the gap between our peering, and with a tremored spread, he presented his palm to the air, where the brown leaf took its rest. At my back, a fingertip pressed upon my skin, and as a hand clutched my elbow, it told me that a lover existed behind me. I turned, and with a shorter gap of peering, he said to me, 'It's warm out.' I turned back, and there lay only a shriveled leaf on the marble and stone, presenting itself to the air. 'It is warm out,' I replied. Thank you.
Hello, I am back. So I am Adrian. Before I present my poem, I would like to talk about the creative process. So I wrote this poem a week ago. It's actually one of our projects for our class, Lit and the Environment, Literature and the Environment. So we have to make 3 poems. So this is one of the 3 poems that I'm going to submit. And I wrote this by applying 3 things I learned from class. And these things are, the first one, I learned this from our mythology class. Dr. Tan told us about Maria Cacao. Maria Cacao would pass by the Mananga River, as told by our folklore, and every time she passes the Mananga River, a bridge would collapse. So I was really interested in that fact, so I tried to incorporate it into my poem. Because my poem centers around Mananga, and Mananga River is one of the rivers that overflowed during Typhoon Tino. And I have a friend who lives near Mananga River, and I have been to Mananga. That's why I wanted to write something about it. The second thing that I applied from what I learned from my class is the concept of iconicity. It's from our translation. So basically, in its most basic sense, iconicity is when something like a piece, what's the word? Like it expands on the piece by using the form. Like the form mirrors what the piece is talking about. So you can't see it here, but the form of my poem, since it's called Weeps from Mananga, I actually opened the map of Mananga River, and then I used it to trace my poem, like the words would form the Mananga River. So if you could see it, it's not really clear, but basically the poem itself is Mananga River. And then the last thing I learned is the concept of ecofeminism, wherein basically ecofeminists, but this is like a very basic idea. They expand on this, but we would often draw like parallels with how women's bodies are treated under patriarchal society, and that in turn is how we also treat nature, because we often call it Mother Nature. We often feminize nature, and that in turn is a reflection on how patriarchal society also treats women. So this poem is like a mixture of everything that I was talking about. So ako na ibasa din ako idugay. Weeps from Mananga. Horizons are clear of any glints of a glittering galleon. In Mananga's navel floats no golden utensils, only wreckage, mud-brown limbs, substandard evidences of avarice from above, sheer anguish below. Agian raman jud ta. Yes, we are all but a passageway for those who sail away with confidential gold. How many more bridges must collapse before our mucky fingers point at those truly to blame. Wala na may agi-agi diri si Maria. Yes, as told from folklore's lips, she is elsewhere. Her ship's bow parts only waters unblemished by greed. So, langga nga man nga, to whom do you bend in Maria's absence? Is it them you offer your body to? They who pressured you to further your reach, to thieve lives from us, the ones they've already thieved and will still thieve from. Thank you.
Okay. Hi. So, I'm going to tell my poem now. A bit of background on my poem is that I was listening to a love song and I wanted to incorporate that in this poem. So the title of the poem is Watch the Waters. In what little solace we have left, I keep you close till where it clings. Weary as the heart could handle, I sought out to your amity. I relinquish whatever's left of you and of me, cupping a drink oh so brittle and cold, warmed up by our rapid exhales. Such an effusive pulse enduring when days grew oddly cleft, a sound that lingered even when the waters took the rest. And if the night returns too soon, I'll hold to what refuses to depart. The dark may seize tonight, but never what keep in heart. For when the storms carve the earth again, and tides scrape our world anew, something stubborn rises still, a small unbroken part of you. Thank you.
All right, a round of applause for our third-year performers. Now, before we move on and tackle the graduating batch's performance of our beloved fourth years, let's have one last musical performance from our beloved Miss Janina. Everyone call your uncles. Call your uncles, call your aunties. Their slow dance is about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Janina with her rendition of Kahit Maputi Ang Buhok Ko.
Hello.
Covers TH.
Kung tayo ay matanda na, sana'y di tayo magbago. Kailanman, nasaan man,
Thank you so much.
A round of applause to Miss Janina. All right. Grabe, no? Since we again showed how talented the members of Palabra, the literary students of USC are, let's again test their intellect with our final trivia question about Cebuano literature and history. Okay, the question is, after his harrowing experience in Fort San Pedro as a political prisoner, Vicente Soto then took up a pen name which he used later in his writings in commemoration of that ordeal. What was that pen name? What was Vicente Soto's pen name?
Anyone from this side?
Anyone from this side? Kanang mga fourth years. Make Doc Hope proud. Come on.
Let's let me repeat the question. Okay. After his harrowing experience in Fort San Pedro as a political prisoner, Vicente Soto then took up a pen name which he used later in his writings in commemoration of that ordeal. What was that pen name? Come on. I better see some hands.
Someone here raised her hand. Sige daw.
Taga-Kota.
Taga-Kota is correct.
Correct.
Miss
Wow.
Regina Jude got it correct, everyone. And that is it for our trivia questions.
Okay, so for the next part of our program, we will have the fourth years. And I've been seeing a lot of fourth years here today.
Yeah.
So let's give it up for them. And for the first performer from the fourth year batch, come up on stage and introduce yourself.
Round of applause
Round
for
of
the
applause.
fourth year performers.
Okay.
Hello everyone. Chismis pa ko dito. Is it okay if let's be quiet? Because I didn't memorize it, but how I wish na si Nani Kwan, Standy, but anyway. Na ba, sir? I never mind. Mag-aso to ka, sir, if na I like something to stand this call. Pero if wala, sir, okay ra? Well, it's okay. Ay, okay ra, miss? I mean, ang microphone. Ano? Guys, give flex. Ana, sir? Sakto ba, sir? Sorry. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. So before I will proceed, I want to thank Palabra for organizing this event and to the Palmgrass Hotel for accommodating us. So just a little bit of background about, my name is Glory, by the way, so a little bit of background about my original spoken poetry is that, do you know that feeling that you're eating something and then suddenly na kay gusto buhaton and imurang biyaan ang food sa table? And then later on, when you come back, the ants would just gather around it. And then pagkwaon mo ang food, the ants would be angry to you as if na kay sala. And they would bite you all of a sudden. And they would blame you na one of their colonies left because of you. So that's my disaster of this session, and this is how I show my love. It's a little bit of unconventional, but I hope you will enjoy it. So, that ant. Funny, isn't it? How that ant scurried in the shadows, whispering my name into tunnels I never walked. then step into the light with a neat little greeting. Hi, Glory! Only to crash into the brick walls of my stair. A wall any ant can read without looking, like a bygone chalk meant to draw our boundaries. These ants holding a crumb, my name, because without it, they'd have nothing that would make anyone follow their trail. I went straight to the baker, the keeper of ovens and crumb trails, the member who rumored to leave the colony because of me, the one who sees every grain that leaves his counter. And he told me, Glory, your hands are clean. Not a single crumb taken, nothing for the colony to drag home and feast on their gossiping corners. Yes, something happened that day, but it wasn't me. Another customer brushed the counter, yet that ant was so eager for a scandal, so hungry to raise an alarm, that it followed the wrong trail and swore it was me who made them hungry, who made even one of its colonies left. The entire colony carrying crumbs into places where no one knows the trail, among newborn ants who've never seen the nest nor checked the food is real. Is that ant really that hungry to watch me rot? That it even wants to suck my blood, to tear my skin? Falling in line, a performance of obedience, a quiet march in a world that sees it like its colony is the only source of truth and righteousness. But behind that confidence sits a mask, thin, trembling, sharp enough to almost cut the life of its own brother, pushing him toward depression, away from the room where this aunt brings its wife, while it pretends to stand taller than the rest. But the truth? It's weak. It's that ant, small enough to be crushed under any careless heel. And still, I refuse to trample the colony. I refuse to pinch it into pieces, not because it deserves mercy, but because I spurn to waste my strength on a creature whose world revolves around a crumb. I rise, I face forward, I clean my plate with a detergent of clear conscience. I choose to focus on something larger, something truer, something that isn't and will never be that ant. Thank you so much. Thank you once again, Palabra and Palm Grass.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Arg. I'm a fourth year, just like Bon. So the theme is love after disaster. So I just go straight to the source of the disaster, sa kasing-kasing. This poem is not mine. It's from 1984, titled "Kasing" by Juanito Ado Amora. Kasing. Tanghaga ka nga namugna ning kalibutan. Tungod sa nagmahal kanimo, mga inosenteng bata. May mga higayon ikaw pagahing kalimtan. Ug adunay panahon sa mga bata, ikaw magpakita. Kinabuhi mo usa sa mga kalibugan. Tungod kay ginapos na walaying sala. Ilambos sa walay mga paglangan. Apan misayaw ka atubangan sa mga bata. Palaran ka nga pagkadulaan, kay sa mga batanon, gimahal o giampingan. Makapos man siya o adunahan, sa ilang mga dughan, hari ka nga gibalaan.
May hapon sa tanan. Kining balak nga akong basahon, naghisgot kabahin sa usa ka tawo nga daw nawad-an na og paglaom diha sa kawadon sa lawod. Napili nako kini nga balak tungod kay nakaingon ako nga haom siya sa atong tema karon. Ang balak gipanguluhan og bag-ong kabuntagon, bag-ong kinabuhi. Sinulat ni 𝗕𝗹𝗺 Mahimo man nga adunay buot ipasabot ang magsusulat, tinaguan, luyuan nga balak, pinaagi sa allegory, apan dili nako ikalimod nga makahinumdum ko adtong lalaki gikag balamban nga naanod sa daloy sa baha paingon sa lawod tungod sa bagyong Tino. Apan bisan pa ni ana ang balak hingsalamin usab sa iyahang kasinatian. Ang magsusulat nga si 𝗕𝗹𝗺 usa ka lumad nga Subuanon. Nakita na ko siya sa Bisaya Magazine, sulod sa tulumanong balak sa semana. Sa akong paghiling, nahibaw-an ako nga misalmot siya sa mga drama o balak sa radyo DYRB. Nakaplagan usab siya ni Emil Rizada Jr., usa ka bantugang direktor sa radyo ni adtong panahona. Gihimo siya nga dramaturgo o gipili nga bida sa dramang Unos sa Kalauran sa estasyong DYRC. Bisan pa ni ana, wala gihapon niya biyai iyahang pagka magsusulat ug nagpadayon siya sa pagpaambit sa iyang mga balak sa Bisaya, Alimyon ug Silaw. Nakapaambit usab siya sa mga sugilanon ug balak sa mga magasin dito sa Manila. Adunay mga ganti si 𝗕𝗹𝗺 gikan sa Ludabi tungod sa iyang mga balak ug sa iyahang mga kaugalingon nahimo og pangulo sa maong panagtapok sa magsusulat ug mao kini ang iyang balak. Bag-ong kabuntagon, bag-ong kinabuhi. Ug natagak ang mga bulalakaw. Diin, wala ako masayod. Mauray akong nahibaw-an nga nanguyos na ang akong mga tudlo. Nagkuray na kining lawas sa hilabihan nga katugnaw. Daghan na kaayo ang mga hunghong nga akong nabati. Sa mga balod? O sa mga balod. Sa mga balod. Sa hangin? O sa hangin. Sa hangin. Ug sa langit nga walay bulan, mauday akong nakita ang kinidlap sa nagkatap nga mga bituon. Daw puti nga bonbon sa baybayon nga akong giiliw. Nagpus nga ako sa kadulong sa kagabi. Nagpangapkap, nagduhiraw, nagpangita ug kahayag diha sa mga balod. Nagpangawhat sa dagaang mga bukton nga mogapos sa nagkurog kong lawas. Misinggit ako, misinggit ug misinggit apan mga bungol ang dalunggan nga namati kanako. Mga buta ang mga mata nga nagsudong kanako. Kapoy na. Kapoy na kaayo na kining lawasa. Hagbay pa ako nakibugno sa mga balod. Hagbay pa ako nakigharong sa katugnaw. Ang lubnganan diha na sa akong tiilan. Nagpamunlot kanako, nakanlat na gani. Sa akong dughan ang katapusang lanat sa paglaom. Unya sa danag nga kinabuhi. Hibatyagan ko nga namulak og pahiyom ang akong mga ngabil. Sa panamilit, sa panamilit. Panamilit sa gabiing miagi, kay didto sa silangan, ning lubog nga takna sa kaadlawon, nagpahipi na ang amag sa kahayag. Diha sa mga balod. Diha sa mga balod. Ug nakita ko ang mga tudlo sa banag-banag na nagpangawhat kanako. Nagpangawhat kanako. Aron ilugon ang akong mga takna gikan sa halapad nga dughan sa dagat. Thank you very much.
Maayong hapon sa tanan. Ako di ay si 𝗟𝗔 I am also a fourth year student of San Carlos, a student of literature. And I have only one poem to read, and it is in Cebuano, Binisaya. It's titled Katalagman and was published in Bisaya Magazine on February the 1st, 1996 by one Justiniano D. Navarro Sr., a regular contributor to the publication. So, not much can be gathered about Mr. Justiniano since there are no biographical information available online. In fact, in any online sources, he isn't even active in social media. So, judging from the fact that he is already a senior at that time, I'm not sure if he's still around with us today, but I think we can glean from his poetry, which I'll discuss here on his profile, especially with this one that he had a certain religious bent when it came to his literary works. So the type of love that he discusses in this poem will be less about the romantic and more with the sublime. So here it goes. Katalagman, bagyo, lunop, linog, hulaw ug gutom. Mga katalagman dinhi sa kalibutan. Daghang kalisdanan sa tao antuson. Tanan kastigo sa Dios sa kahitasan. Wa nay kalinaw kining atong kalibutan. Naggubat ang mga nasod, nagilog sa gahom. Ang tibuok kalibutan gilunupan sa kadautan. Kay gilapas ang kasuguan sa makagagahom. Banhig, tulis, kidnap, lugos, sunog ug kawat. Makita sa tanang adlaw sa tibuok nga yuta. Ang katawhan nagpuyo sa tumang kalisang, kay way siguro ang atong kinabuhing ugma. Kinini ang tanan nga timailhan sa panahon, nga miabot na kita sa katapusang mga adlaw. Si Kristo mubalik na aron iyang kuhaon ang mga tarong ngadto sa tumang kalinaw. Kining tanan, mga lamas lang sa kinabuhi, sa kasakit, sungugon ug sa kalipay hadlaon. Aron kita magkinabuhi nga balaan og putli. Aron maandam sa kinabuhing way kamatayon.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. So my name is Mel, and today I bring a poem from Vietnam, from 𝗟𝗏. So just a little bit of a background. 𝗟𝗏 is a Vietnam-born American writer whose works explore themes on war, trauma, queer, and immigrant experience. When he was 2 years old, his family emigrated to the US after 1 year in a refugee camp in the Philippines. The poem I will be sharing with you today comes from his T.S. Eliot winning a prize collection called Night Sky with Exit Wounds. And this poem, Kissing in Vietnamese, talks about how trauma encompasses both mind and body, where love, however simple, is treasured. So once again, this is Kissing in Vietnamese by 𝗟𝗏𝗏. My grandmother kisses, as if bombs are bursting in the backyard, where mint and jasmine lace perfumes through the kitchen window, as if somewhere a body is falling apart. And flames are making their way back through the intricacies of a young boy's thigh. As if to walk out the door, your torso would dance with exit wounds, from exit wounds. When my grandmother kisses, there would be no flashy smooching, no Western music of pursed lips. She kisses as if to breathe you inside her, nose pressed to cheek, so that your scent is relearned and your sweat pearls into drops of gold inside her lungs. As if while she holds you, death also is clutching your wrist. My grandmother kisses as if history never ended, as if somewhere a body is still falling apart. Thank you.
A round of applause to our fourth-year performers. Grabe, Jud.
God, I am so proud.
Even with employment in their midst, even with college ending really quick, they still find love for the literature that they have. So yeah. Now,
so do you remember that game we played where we asked 3 questions from the audience? What were the answers again?
the answers, hold on. The questions were, what is an image from a moment of calamity that you could never erase from your mind? The answer was a mother and a baby on top of a roof. The second
is for you, whose voice resounds above all the noise? And the answer was a coach.
And the third one, how did love show up in your moments of distress? And the answer was through courage during calamity. And so,
let's see what's become of those 3 answers. So we can, let's bring it up to Raven to come up on stage.
A round of applause for the poet Raven Cristoria.
All right, hello again. So it's me. So as you all remember, I got a poem that I will share to you guys right now. So the title of this one is The Last Dance. My child, my sweet child, I wished for you to believe in hopes and dreams that swirl upon my care, that tremble in your tiny arms. I know that feeling. Dread in my heart, that terrible monster that kills before the tiger. The great death that has consumed our lives. It cares for our perils more than a sun would care if it burned away the last semblance of life. You are lucky, my child, for you know nothing of the river of death that has come to consume us. I tried to lift you with my arms while the coldness prickled my skin. I stand and look on the horizon with nothing for our lives to stay. True and true, the cold comes, not just any cold. The winter's cold that wrecks the heat out of my body, where mine's blood would fight for every life. My child, I could not say any words. He is already cold, skin wrinkled, and no more tears left. He has been crying since last night, and I think the water has reached the roof. Soon I will carry and deny this child from the hands of the unmerciful. I have nothing left but the life of this child. There I stepped before the edge of death and did what a cornered animal would do. I jumped into the raging floods, kicking my legs and holding my breath as best as I can. Pain shot into my arms, every strand of muscle and blood shooting straight to the tiny thing above my head. Please stop shaking. Please do not move. You will slip out. I yelled, but stopped myself when the fear of the water threatened to bring death to me. I swam and kicked when I remembered what my coach told me. Up and down, swing your legs like you are making waves out of your limbs. Never kick, the water will pull you below. I am trying. The baby is starting to cry. The wailing would press anyone with a heart to come and save us both. But nobody came. Everyone was dead. I started swinging my legs up and down before I got desperate and started to kick below the depths. Then, to my greatest and utter fear, my legs, like broken gears, started to seize, and my terrified form in the midst of the hopeless night began to dwindle. The last fight I had, gone to no known destination. My eyes shut open, my mouth invaded by the flood. Water flowed into my nose and filled my lungs, every pore and branch replaced by the arms of death. I started to sink, bubble foamed out of me, my eyes closed on their own from the pain. The flood consumed and rose into my elbows, my forearms, then to my child's kicking feet. Everything hurts. My lungs started to balloon and burst. I kept kicking, my last will against the storm. It would never see tears from me, because I saw a shadow, a pair of fingers extend and grab my child out of my hands. My child is safe. He would never see and know pain. That alone comforted my dying breaths, and the dark rings that now spread took more of my vision. Then my body completely stilled, and I went into a deep sleep. Thank you.
A round of applause to Mr. 𝗵𝗵𝗃. Could you guys believe that he made that in just this past hour? Na-late po siya. Originally, he had like an hour, but no, he only had like 40 minutes to whiz that up. So again, a round of applause to Mr. 𝗵𝗵𝗃.
So I heard there were some winners coming up here and an awarding. So let's give it up to Miss Agripina to announce the winners for the, the winners of the Cebu Island Extemporaneous Speech Contest.
A round of applause, please.
Congratulations to all the very talented literary artists of the University of San Carlos, Palabra. Congratulations, you really are following the footsteps of our Visayan ancestors who could write, who could speak poetry impromptu. Like they would have a debate and they could, according to Father Francisco Alcina in 1668, our Visayan ancestors were very good in poetry, and they would not just speak their poetry or recite their poetry, but they would sing their poetry, and that would be impromptu. But then Father Francisco Alcina said that all their poetry and all their songs that were poetry, the metaphors were so deep that he could not understand, even if he already tried to learn the Visayan language for 5 years, and still he could not understand the metaphors and of the Visayans. And their poetry, the contents were all so evil and so bad. The contents were so evil. So maybe we know that at present, the songs that the Visayans should usually patronize are
are the sexually suggestive songs, like the songs of 𝗲𝗎𝗄𝗎 or Max Urban. So not your generation, but of course, those are what our ancestors like. Like for example, the poetry that are, the poetry of, I don't know which poetry you like these days. Like during our times, we would like the poetry of Antonis Dorado, of Bush Bandilio, so those kinds of poetry. So congratulations, because you could write poetry. Maybe you could have that in the future, a prompt, and then you could have a debate. It's what our ancestors did. They would have a debate, and then they would also it's like flip-top today, but they said that this is 𝗣𝗏𝗏. There is also 𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 is like a love poem between a man and a woman. It's like balitaw, but impromptu, and they sing it. But maybe we don't have that talent anymore. We only have videoke and karaoke now. But in ancient times, they could do that. It was described. And then they would also demolish their enemy. It's 𝗣𝗏𝗏 through poetry, impromptu poetry. And then they would really laugh about it, and there was not much laughter today. Everything is so solemn, maybe because of our topic, but our ancestors could make fun out of of any topic, so any content. So it's how Visayans are. So Bisaya means saya, or comes from the word saya, joyful people, because our ancestors were always singing when they go to when they work, when they row the boats, when they walk. So they would always sing. So anyway, congratulations, because you are of the heart of our Visayan ancestors, who were very good poets. Congratulations. So now we would like to insert this intermission, which is the announcement of the winners. So at 𝗵𝗏𝗏grass, we always involve the youth in all our undertakings. You know that 𝗵𝗏𝗏grass is a heritage hotel. We are the only heritage hotel in Cebu. And we are not just a heritage hotel because we have antique or any heritage items, but we are a heritage hotel. We remember our history. We remember our story as Cebu, the stories of our heroes. And we want the younger generations to know about this. So we hold contests, we hold these events for our younger generations to look back to our past and know and rediscover our identity as Cebuanos, as Visayans, as Filipinos. So we are so happy that the young people, like the grade 6 to 12 students, have participated in our celebration of the 163rd birthday of hero General Arcadio Maxilom. You pass these streets, the General Maxilom Avenue, but usually we don't know who his hero is, who this name is. So we are so happy that the grade 6 to 12 students came here armed with the knowledge of our hero, General Arcadio Maxilom. They know the theme. How can today's generation carry Cebu hero General Arcadio Maxilom's torch in promoting good governance and good disaster governance? So they had this prompt or a topic that they got 6 minutes before their speeches, and we congratulate all the contestants who did their speeches last November 15. We also know in our discussion last week in 𝗨𝗏𝗏 is a Cebuan word that means devastation or ruin, that is a result of disasters, or it's a disaster. 𝗨𝗏𝗏 is disaster because natural hazards, as they say, there are no natural disasters. Disasters happen when communities and governments are not ready for the natural hazards. We know that the Philippines is in the Pacific Ring of Fire. We know that the typhoons would pass the Central Visayas every November and December. How are we prepared? How are the communities? And how did the government prepare for it? So when November and December are the months when natural hazards would happen. But November is also a month of the birthday of our heroes, General Arcadio Maxilom, and tomorrow is the birthday of hero, the founder of the kagalang-galangan, kataas-taasang katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan, the highest, the most supreme, the most respected organization of the sons and daughters of the people. So we celebrate the birthday of Supremo Andres Bonifacio tomorrow. So I know your school is also joining an activity that fights for good governance. So we hear in your poems how you wish, how you dream of a better society for everyone, a society where natural hazards would not cause disasters, a society where leaders whose hearts and minds have the welfare of the people foremost, whose hearts and minds are for service of the people, for and with the people. So congratulations for all your poetry. So we also remember that today, November 29, in 1942, our Cebuano ancestors started the 10-day Battle of Babag against the Japanese. It was the Japanese at that time dropped 82 bombs, and and ground troops also appeared. But the Cebuanos fought with, the guerrillas fought with their determination. And after the 10 days, how many Cebuanos died? And how many of the enemies were killed? Do you know? If you read our Today in History at Palmgrass, the enemy, the Japanese, withdraw on the 10th day with only one Cebuano guerrilla who was martyred, and 650 Japanese were killed. Even if they had fighter planes and bombs, the determination, the bravery of the Cebuano warriors, the guerrillas, defeated the enemy. And it started on this day, November 29. So we know that our ancestors, and even until today, the Cebuanos and the Visayans will really fight against an oppressor. So you fought with your poems today. Congratulations. So, we would like to now read those who joined. So we thank the judges of our contest. So we have Lapu-Lapu City History book author, former radio anchor, magazine editor, and newspaper columnist Ahmed Quizon as one of the judges. We also have a lawyer, 𝗟ន់ 𝗟𝗲𝗬. She is with Toastmasters and also with the Women in Literary Arts of Cebu, and she is the secretary to the Cebu City Council. So we have attorney 𝗟ន់𝗟𝗲𝗬 as one of the judges. We also have history researcher and an instructor at the Cebu Normal University, and he also studies. He's taking up his master's in history at the University of San Carlos. We have Marvin Bascon. So we have these contestants: Ezekiel Jen Marfel, grade 12, Babag National High School from Lapu-Lapu City. We have David King Midraso, grade 10 from Marigondo National High School, Division of Lapu-Lapu City. We have Kirsten Rama, grade 9 from Marigondo National High School. We have Ara Isabel Padigos, grade 10, Don Vicente Rama Memorial National High School. Lovely Beryl Isgana, grade 9, Abeliana National High School. Angel Alarce, grade 11, Haklupa National High School. Vince Greenell Obaov, grade 11, Cebu City National Science High School. Jadon Dwight Damasco, grade 6, 3H Redwood International School from Cebu City. Princess Brianna Diola, grade 10, 3H Redwood International Cebu City, International School from Cebu City. Third, Cedric Segundino, grade 12, St. Scholastica's Academy from Tabunok, Talisay City. Samuel Domingo, grade 12, Science and Technology Education Center, Lapu-Lapu City. Lofi Discartin from grade 11, Cebu City National Science High School. 𝗕𝗵𝗲 Lopez, grade 7, Abellana National High School. Sebastian Rai Bacos, grade 11, San Carlos School of Cebu Senior High School. And 𝗕𝗵𝗲 𝗣𝗵𝗁, grade 11, San Carlos School of Cebu Senior High School. So now we would like to award the winners. Our Netizens' Choice awardee got 1,599 reactions and 18,644 views. So we look more at their reactions, although some got more than 30,000 views, but we don't know why there are 30,000 views but less reactions. So is that possible? It is possible. You can view it repeatedly. So our Netizens' Choice awardee is, not a drum roll, yeah? Congratulations to the winner for the Netizens' Choice Award with 1,599 reactions, and we have grade 11 from Cebu City National Science High School, Lofi Discartin. So this is from 𝗵𝗏 and DepEd Region 7. So this contest is hosted by 𝗵𝗏 in partnership with the Department of Education, Region 7. Congratulations to Lofi Discartin. Nagika Science High Direct. So our consolation prize winners. So we have 4 who won the consolation prize. We have one of those who won the consolation prize is from Don Vicente Rama Memorial National High School, grade 10, Ara Isabel Padigo. Congratulations. Another consolation prize. Ako na lang. Wala man mo nga rin. Another consolation prize winner is from Babag National High School, grade 12, 𝗟𝗃𝗃 Congratulations. From 𝗵𝗏 and DepEd Region 7, 𝗟𝗃𝗃, grade 12, Babag National High School. The next consolation prize winner is from Don Andres Soriano National High School, Princess Gabriel Villaseran. So congratulations to Princess Villaseran from Don Andres Soriano National High School. Another consolation prize winner is from Talisay City Division from Haclupan National High School, grade 11, Angel Alarce. Congratulations to Angel Alarce for winning a consolation prize, and this is from 𝗵𝗏 and DepEd Region 7. Now our third prize winner, 𝗵𝗏𝗏 𝗪𝗏𝗏. And this is an excerpt from the extemporaneous speech. Announcer ako. The delay. Congratulations to Abellana National High School, grade 7, 𝗕𝗵𝗲
Cebu, like the rest of our country, is very vulnerable to floods and typhoons. So why should the youth get engaged on planting trees or reducing waste? Well, disaster resilient isn't just about responding when calamity strikes. It's about being prepared before it comes.
Congratulations once again to grade 7, 𝗕𝗵𝗲 Lopez of Abellana National High School. Our ikaduhang gante, second prize winner is from Division of Lapu-Lapu City Science and Technology Education Center, grade 12, Ayen Samuel Domingo. from DepEd Region 7 and Pamgras, the Cebu Heritage Hotel.
Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Over 100 years ago, General Maxilom led us and gave us a torch, not only of resistance, but responsibility. Now that torch is no longer in the battlefields they once fought or the Spaniards they killed. It is now in us, the young heroes of Cebu, the youth, ang mga sinasabi nilang pag-asa ng bayan.
Congratulations once again to Ayen Samuel Domingo of Science and Technology Education Center, Lapu-Lapu City. And now, for the very exciting Unang Gante, or first prize. Dako kayo yung vlog. So we have from Cebu City National Science High School, Grade 11, 𝗣𝗵𝗴𝗁, and an excerpt from his speech.
The Philippines experiences at least 20 typhoons every year, and 50% of the communities and cities here in the country lack a proper disaster preparedness plan. But how we respond to these disasters is not just about our infrastructure. It is about the spirit of our people. It is about the culture of our people, the act of pagtinabangay. When we share resources and help one another, we are able to bounce back together faster than those don't. General Arcadio Maxilom embodied the same spirit, the spirit of collective action. He had unity. He had cooperation and control to the people with whom he had influence of.
Congratulations to Cebu City National Science High School Grade 11, 𝗣𝗵𝗴𝗁, for winning the Unang Gante of the Cebu Island-wide Hybrid Extemporaneous Speech Contest with the theme, How Can Today's Generation Carry Cebu Hero General Arcadio Maxilom's torch in promoting good governance and disaster resilience from Pamgras to Cebu Heritage Hotel and DepEd Region 7. Congratulations. We invite you to once again to our upcoming events. On December 5, 6, and 7 are the auditions for our 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏 𝗟𝗏𝗃. If you are 7 to 35 years old, you can join the auditions if you can sing or dance or act. And that would be at 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on December 5, 6, and 7 here. And this is led by the San Carlos School of Cebu Directors Guild and also the 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏 𝗟𝗏𝗃 and Pamgras, the Cebu Heritage Hotel, and the other partners in the Rebranding 𝗟𝗏𝗃 Street program. Join us in the December 6 Daigun sa Pasko with 𝗏𝗏𝗀 Visayas, a supported choir group of Pamgras, the Cebu Heritage Hotel. Join us in the discussion about the Heritage Belen on December 13 and Pasko sa Kagawasan on December 29. So daghang salamat and congratulations to all the winners of the Cebu Island-wide Extemporaneous Speech Contest, and congratulations to all the poets of the University of San Carlos, Palabra.
All right, thank you, Miss Agripina, and congratulations to all the winners of the extemporaneous contest. Now, before we officially close our event, before we have our closing remarks, we would like to offer this time for the poets and writers who have yet to perform here for our open mic session. So here we call on our beautiful audience who is willing to recite a poem, everyone.
You have the opportunity to showcase your old poems or perhaps an old prose that you have, and you can come up here and then we can also cater you in front for an open mic.
We will cater you in front. Anyone? An open mic?
I think I see someone.
We have some.
Sige. Sir, what's your name, sir?
Hello, mic test. I work part-time in San Carlos Radio. I'm a computational linguist, but Father 𝗟𝗵𝗃 got me as a radio announcer, DYRF, Radio Force sa mga igala, 12:15 sa inyong mga radyo, alas 10 hangtod sa alas 11, matag Biyernes, oras sa OFW, ang nagsibya kaninyo karambutag, pulido ang agi, pulido ang trabaho, pulido ang kinabuhi. I'm a linguist, but I'm gonna deliver a poem. But this is German-style delivery. December 29, 1896. About 10 o'clock in the evening, I start writing. A bleak situation. I have mixed feelings. 1896. It's December 29, 1896. I'm sitting with a kerosene lamp in front of me. The guard gave me a piece of paper I was left. I got it's called tintera in Spanish. We didn't have ball pens in the good old days. And I'm trying to write my parting words. And very difficult for me, mixed feelings. So I start with the most obvious word that comes to my mind. Adiós, patria adorada, región del sol querida, perla del mar de oriente, nuestro perdido Edén, a darte voy alegre, la triste mustia vida, si fuera más brillante, más fresca, más florida, también por ti la diera por tu bien. En campos de batalla, luchando con delirio, otros te dan sus vidas, sin dudas, sin pesar. El sitio nada importa, ciprés, laurel o lirio, cadalso o campo abierto, combate o cruel martirio, lo mismo es si lo piden la patria o el hogar. Yo muero cuando veo que el cielo se colora y al fin anuncia al día atrás lóbrego capuz. Si grana necesitas para teñir tu aurora, vierte la sangre mía, derrámala en buenora y dórela un reflejo de tu naciente luz. First 3 stanzas, there are 14. I won't recite all of it. Salamat.
Thank you for that, Sir Paul. A round of applause to Sir Paul. Oh my God. Once again, this is an open mic. Anyone and everyone here.
Last call.
Last call.
Before we move on to the closing remarks.
Yes, because after this, the event is over. Going once.
Going twice.
All right. So I think we can wrap up now, Rich, if no one else wants to do the open mic.
So, okay, I guess we're all clear. Let's call on the Vice President of Palabra to deliver the closing remarks, Lois Gomera.
A round of applause to Miss Lois Gomera.
Okay. I heard somewhere around here nga, okay, kaulian na ang mga tao? Or gigutom na? Okay, so I don't have a script, but I'll do my best to speak like on the spot, just as our ancestors before us. So okay, so first of all, and once again, on behalf of Pulong sa mga alagad sa obra, we would like to thank Palmgrass, the Cebu Heritage Hotel, for giving us this opportunity, this
this place, this stage for our constituents to express themselves in light of the recent like things that have happened. These a lot of things. It would be an understatement to say a lot of things have happened, but yes. And indeed, there's no such thing as natural disasters. It's just these natural occurrences that we have no control over, and that's like it. Just these occurrences or things happen. Mother Earth bring these powers to us, and there is not, it's out of our control, and that's exactly why we we human beings, we have different reactions to it, and it impacts us in different ways, and that's also why these people have their different takes on it, and such people as us, as those who have just performed here earlier, and they were able to, thanks to this event today, they were able to express and to juggle their minds a bit to come up with this sort of poetry. I don't think, because as far as I know, or as far as I have observed, there haven't been like a lot of poems about natural kanang like these natural or these calamities. Like not, it's more of a poetry. Much more poetry has been written about figurative calamities, but like not much about kanang literal jud. So it was also sort of a great exercise for us to actually come up with a poem about like the literal calamities as we see it. So thank you as well. So thank you so much to those who volunteered, to those who were, also it takes a lot of courage to, stand in front, and with like, I just found out nga, like last night nga live stream day, so it was a bit of a shock. So yeah, it takes a lot of like confidence, and it takes a lot of and like napoy, like a lot, like some of you maybe layo po ni siya nga place. So kanang thank you for taking, like for kanang actually being kanang able to be here, to those who are able to be here. So what else do I have to say? So thank you to I hope that this experience will especially to those who just performed earlier, I hope this this isn't going to be the last of your the last of your experiences as like speaking in front, because it's very especially for us. I would just like to insert nga, especially for those maybe in Apaj, like the freshies as I've noticed, they have a lot of like potential. Like I can really see nga, like wow, you guys are really good. So yeah, I hope nga you will like this events like these will like help you like muster more like confidence, and like because here at Palabra, here at Solares, again sa atong tagline, find your voice. Okay, so okay, daghang salamat and amping kanunay.
Thank you for that. Once again, a round of applause to the Vice President, Lois Gomera. We heard a lot of things today about the power of literature during hard times, how they can give us the refuge we need, how they can be an avenue for us to fight back, how it is the reason we are here.
And
to
the
exist.
fact that we had so many of our poets come here and speak, I'm so proud. And first, I'm really happy that for Palmgrass for sponsoring this event, and for all our freshmen for coming up here, and all those who participated.
Yes, everyone is here from first years to fourth years. So thank you, everyone. Thank you to Palabra. Thank you to Palmgrass. Now, before we finally sign off, there will be a photo opportunity later up here in the staircase. So please do not go yet, for we are gonna get our fabulous faces pictured, everyone. And I think with that, that concludes Balak Pangtapak Love Letters in the Post-Apocalypse. Thank you again to Palmgrass. We have been Palabra. My name is Samuel Mendez II.
And I'm Rich Martel.
And we're signing off. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, man.
Picture ta, guys.
Let's get a picture.